Welcome to today's video. First of all, I want to go see Jack because there was one thing about his scientist look yesterday that was just missing something. I went to AutoZone and got him a pair of these. I think it's just going to complete it. Jack, you in here? I got a little something for you. For me? Yeah, for you. Good. So like yesterday, right? You had the lab coat, but it was just missing one important thing. It was. Nice. Yellow too. Perfect, right? Yeah, next time, AutoZone.
Very good, yeah.
Right? I think it's going to complete the look.
Well, you know what it's going to do? It's going to allow me to make more power.
That's right.
More power.
More power. He's what?
He needs that pocket protector.
He needs a pocket protector. Get out of here. What are you watching there? Do you do any work except watching anime and stuff?
I'm doing work. I'm putting this coupler on there.
So my agenda for today is to try and get the aircon all installed and put the belt on and get that working, plus the power steering. Everything's hooked up for the power steering, so there's not much that needs to be done there, just needs the belt. But the AC, we need to run the lines from the firewall all the way through to these lines down here that I've got zip tied to the sway bar. It might be hard to see, but off the compressor, essentially. Also, before we do anything else, there is something very important that we need to deal with. And that is the fact that we do not have a filter on the turbo. But I got this to put on there so that that problem is now solved. Now, I wanted to go with like a full-size K&N filter, but due to the location of this and the headlight here, the motor, the prop that brings it up and down, and the power steering reservoir, that isn't gonna happen. So I had to go for this compact one that they sell at AutoZone. Hang on, one hand vlogger life here. So we went with this bad boy. It should flow enough for what we need. Obviously though, it would be nicer if we could get a much bigger filter here. But I think this will be okay for what it needs. And we'll just kind of squeeze that on there. Maybe not the right size. Oh, I think I need to take one of these adapters out. But yeah, you guys get the idea. That's gonna go there and protect our little spoolie boy here from any nasty rocks or water. So just got the filter on there and it looks pretty good. My plans were to actually get one of those turbo guards with the mesh, so you could still see the turbo wheel and things like that. And Turbo Guard actually makes a pink one, so I was gonna get that and put it on there, and I thought that was gonna look cool. But with the whole pandemic situation, they're not even like shipping them out for like 15 days after you order, which is just way too much time for me to wait for a filter. So for now, we've got that on there, and I think that'll be more than enough, and it's probably safer in hindsight because it's an actual proper filter as well. So that'll be perfect. I definitely wish, you know, you could see like more of the Garrett logo there and stuff, but for now, I think that's awesome. The next thing that I need to do is aircon. So last time I spoke to you guys about the AC is we need to run the lines, but one other thing that we need to put in is a brand new one of these it's like a dryer canister thing. So this is brand new. I got this through AutoZone. New O-rings came with it as well. Plus I got some other O-rings here just in case, because I wasn't sure if it was going to come with them. So yeah, we're going to be putting this in, and then we're going to be, well, we need to put in all the lines and stuff, because what I understand is like this doesn't want to be open to atmosphere for too long. Like it needs to be like a quick changeover. Otherwise, like then you need to buy a new one and stuff like that. I don't really understand AC too much and aircon stuff, but that's what I understand about this. So we need to try and keep the whole thing sealed. So I'm going to put the lines in first, and then I'll install that. Then we'll be drawing a vacuum on the entire system and sucking everything out, and we're going to hold it at a vacuum to see if there's any leaks. And if everything's all good, then we'll be charging this thing up and have AC working tonight and power steering. So let's get on to that, get the lines in there, jack this car up, because I need to bring the lines in from under and up and in, and then we should be good. I just finished getting these lines installed along here. It definitely wasn't super simple and easy. I had to like finessel and move things around a bunch because they were warped and bent and stuff like that to get them back into the shape they needed to. I got the two brackets bolted in. There's one down here and there's another one here. So they're all bolted in now. I got the little pressure sensor plugged into the wiring loom now. And now I need to just plumb everything up down there. Everything was pretty straightforward and simple, honestly though. Like I was expecting things to be kind of harder, but everything lined up perfect. The adapters here for the R34 gas are all there, and they clear everything, so we should be fine there. Everything seems to be okay. My only concern right now is where the aircon lines come here. I'm hoping that they're not going to be in the way of the intercooler piping that comes into the throttle body there, because I did have to remove that. Now I'm pretty sure it's going to clear and be fine and just kind of come through here and around it all. We will have to bend a bunch of stuff a little bit as well, make sure it's all in the right spot, but I think it's going to work out okay. I've just finished installing the dryer canister, the new one's in there. The old one is in the bin down there. And overall, like, it was pretty simple. It was a little bit of a pain. I wish I had changed it out when the bumper wasn't on and stuff, but we were able to like get my hands down in there and bust a few knuckles and stuff. But otherwise, it's in. I actually remember when I did install this old one, a bunch of people were saying in the comment section to just throw it in the bin and get a new one. And at that time, I didn't know what was going on, so I just left it on there. But yeah, seems like you guys were right. We got the new one on there with the new condenser, and pretty much the next step is Tommy brought over his gas and the vacuum pump and stuff, plus this nice tool here, and we're going to draw a complete vacuum on the system, check for leaks and everything, and then we'll start putting gas in it. So from here, we'll wait till Tommy gets here. We nearly forgot the most important thing. We need the accessory belt on here. Otherwise, nothing's gonna work. No power steering, no AC. So let's get this on. It should slide right on, and then we gotta tighten the adjuster. Come on, baby. Get on that AC pump. There we go. Now we gotta tighten this guy up here, and then we should be laughing. Yeah, we got our power steering back. Hell yes. And Tommy just arrived too. I'm sure you heard him. Power steering is back. So Tommy's here. Not only is he the master painter and body guy, but he's also the master AC guy around here.
Yeah, well, you know.
Is that what you call it here in America? AC?
Yeah, air conditioning, AC. I don't know. Just some guy who knows how to do it.
You gotta look at his son's hair. Show us your hair. Show us the Fortnite side.
Show me Fortnite.
Look at that. Kids these days, man, they get Fortnite in the side of their hair, apparently. So now, because these have little, I'll hold that for you. Because these have the little conversion things on there, they're kind of a little bit hard to get to. But we need to hook onto there to vacuum out the entire system. And this is the low side, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll get that on there, and then we start sucking everything out.
It's a little bit of pain in the butt right now, but we'll get it.
We'll get it. It's just in a tight spot. We're used to getting into tight spots.
Yep.
After a bunch of finessing around, we managed to get both of the connectors on in a really tight spot there behind the manifold, and we actually already have like pressure in there, right?
Yep. This is all the air pressure.
And that was what was left in this, right?
No, actually, that's in the air line. It's just typical air. It's not.
Oh, okay. So it's not pressurized. All right, sick.
So now, turn it on.
The vacuum pump, and then you open that, and it's going to suck everything to a vacuum.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is, the blue is low side, and the red is high side. Okay. And which one will we know which is the vacuum?
Do you see it dropping below zero right now?
Oh, okay, so it's going to go this way.
Yep, as it drops, as it heads south, obviously, counterclock.
Okay, yeah.
We wanted to go clock when we're adding.
All right, so
I'm going to let it sit and suck most of it. Now that we're pretty much zeroed out on both ends, I'll open it up so it just takes everything completely out of the system.
Okay, so you're going to like introduce air into it so it actually is pulling stuff out of it.
Let it just do a full circle.
Yeah, that's good. So if there's anything bad in there, it'll suck it out.
Make sure all the moisture's gone, any contaminants. Remember, one thing about ACs, most people, a condenser condenses. Air does not condense. Condensables is what you want in there. Non-condensables, you have a problem. So basically any moisture, water, or contaminants are gonna ruin your air system.
Okay, so it's important that we get that all out.
Yes, sir. See how we're at zero?
Yep.
And we're at almost negative 15?
Yep.
So if I were to lock it right now, for instance, it's still dropping. I haven't even opened it. So now?
Yeah.
We're gonna let it just sit and drop as it drops, and then sometimes they make them negative 30, some don't. Some stay at -2, -5. Depends on the system, what pressure it'll take. I usually just let it sit for about 15-20 minutes, so that way we got a guarantee of nothing, no contaminants in your air or system. Once you got your AC system clean, I'll lock it down and we'll sit and wait another 15, 20 minutes to see if we have a leak. Because if it's a slow leak, most people look and go, okay, I'm zeroed out, now I just want to rush and put a... That'll work if you're going to drive from here to Texaco or Sunoco or any of these gas stations that you fill up at.
Yeah.
But the problem you're going to have is the minute it finds a leak, it's going to leak. So you want to let it sit. The same way I'm going to vacuum it for 15, 20 minutes is the same way I'm going to let it sit for 15, 20 minutes.
To make sure that it's not going to go down.
Right, because it could be a small leak.
Yeah. And you want to see that in that 15 minutes that it actually hasn't budged.
Correct. I mean, the longer you're better. I mean, you have 30, 45 minutes to burn.
Yeah.
No problem. That's what I typically recommend. I always recommend 30 minutes to an hour of vacuuming and sitting, and then you'll know if you got a problem.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, let's do that then. We want this thing to make sure we don't have an issue.
Yeah, just in that short, we're at negative 17 now.
Yeah, so it just keeps going down and down. All right, well, I'm really interested in this because this is the first time I've ever, like, hands-on with AC stuff on cars, so it's pretty cool.
Don't worry, I practice a lot, can you tell?
Yeah, it is pretty warm today. So while we're waiting for the system to completely vacuum out, I was looking at this beautiful snap-on gauge, and I noticed something. If you build up too much pressure in this, I guess you're a retard. So we had the vacuum pump on for about 30 minutes, and then we had it set at a vacuum and we locked it. But unfortunately, we definitely have a leak. It's gone down a fair few PSI. Well, gone up a fair few PSI because we're at vacuum. So to find the leak now, what's the game plan?
The next step is to dye test the system. We'll pressurize your system, we'll put dye in it, so it'll be air and dye. And we'll go ahead and just see what we got.
And just hit it with like the special ultraviolet light?
We'll do it tomorrow rather than do anything else. What I'll do is first thing in the morning, we'll come in here. Obviously the shop will be available.
Yeah.
We'll park right here, we'll turn all the lights off.
Yeah.
And I'll shoot it into the system.
Yeah.
We'll leave it for 20, 30 minutes and we'll come back out with special glasses and the dye light, UV light, and we'll look for the leak.
Okay, so we're just going to pressurize it with normal air?
It's an air dye.
Okay.
It's the same thing, it's a dye, but so we don't waste or hurt the environment.
Yep.
They have an air system, a pressurized dye leak test system. So that's what I'll do. I'll hit it with the pressure and we'll find out what we got, where we got it, and we'll go from there. Okay,
cool. So obviously, this system didn't come with gas in it. So, there could also be something wrong with the piping itself, but I think it's just going to be a fitting needs to be tied or maybe an O-ring's pinched or something like that.
It's just an O-ring.
Just an O-ring?
A lot of times it's just an O-ring.
Just an O-ring.
Don't get depressed, don't get discouraged. It happens.
All right. 6. So hopefully we'll be all good. But the best news of all is once we pull this all off is I get to drive this home, Tommy.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited. I am so excited that I get to drive this thing home tonight, guys, and start putting some like real miles on this car. Get the backpack in there with the laptop and everything. I'm just excited to drive it, honestly. And I wish the injectors weren't so loud. It feels so good driving this thing on the street. Definitely a few things we need to look at. The suspension is super stiff, so I definitely want to make sure that we adjust the damper settings. Should be much softer. There's a few kind of like little rattles here and there that I want to look into. But man, this thing feels great. Like the engine runs so smooth. We also need to fix this steering wheel. It's like crooked as hell, but we're getting this thing aligned tomorrow, so that'll help with that. Oh man, this thing cruises so well, and you can always hear the turbo if the window's down. I hope the camera can hear the turbo. A little bit of a third gear pull time. Woo! This thing is nice. Fourth gear pull. The wastegate flutter is awesome. Oh, I love this car. So we've made it home and we're in the front lawn of Rudnick's house, and there is an issue that has developed. I think what's happened is some kind of vac line somewhere has popped off and it's got a vacuum leak, because it's now wanting to sit at like 2000 RPM. So there's got to be just like a vacuum leak somewhere, which we'll look at tomorrow. But it's not affecting like drivability or anything. It's just like, you know, when the car wants to idle, it's sitting at 2000 RPM instead of 1000. So I'll look into that tomorrow. We'll sort that out. I'm sure it'll just be something quick and easy, like something's just popped off from boost that maybe I forgot to put a zip tie on or a hose clamp or something like that. So I'll look into it. But otherwise, everything's going great. Power steering felt amazing. It was a pretty good first kind of drive on the street. So it's now the next day, and I've been going over everything to work out why it was idling at 2000 RPM, and I was exactly right. One of the little blocker things here popped off down there on the intake manifold, so I've just rigged this up with a little bit of a vacuum line and a bolt. I'm gonna slide that on there with the zip tie, and that'll get this thing idling normal again, and then we can get this thing to the shop, and I'll go to AutoZone and buy some smaller ones of those that are actually designed to fit that. We'll get the zip tie on there as well, and maybe a little hose clamp on that one, because it seems like that one likes to pop off a fair bit. So let's do that, and we'll take this thing for a drive. But I think this is the perfect moment to end today's video. We got to take the car on its first official street drive, and obviously we found a few things right away that we need to address and sort out. We're gonna fix this, don't worry. This will not be on the car when I give it to the new owner in the winter. But for now, I'm just happy that this thing's on the street and on the road. I'm gonna go get some Dunkin'. I'm gonna also go grab my brand new BMX bike, which you'll see in tomorrow's video. So smash that like button, guys, write us a comment, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Peace out, Ciao Mata.